So it may be a little bit of push and shove in the middle, and that's what we might be looking to see for the rest of the game, really. What do you think, Sando?
Yeah, and maybe Ruby actually did start getting the siege tanks earlier, so he's going to have a few more, and if he can take the elevated area in the middle and maintain it and push Canata back off the middle, then I think he's going to have a pretty high chance of winning this game, but he's a far way off of doing that, so very nice sieging up. So in the middle of this map, we're almost going to see like old school war where both sides just line up and rock each other. So lots and lots of vultures for Canata, and Canata has way too many vultures. Ruby is not as many vultures but has more tanks, but Canata, wow, Canata really went all in with these vultures. He has, let's say, probably a 36 vultures to start that or something like that, so he is completely dominating Ruby's force. Now he's going to push back because the siege tanks are sieged up, and wow, you can see it in his face. That was a nice move by Canata. I think he pretty much caught Ruby off guard. Ruby was not ready for that, and wow, I was not expecting all vultures to pay off for him that much, but wow, what do you think about this, Asterisk?
Well, in any matchup, 36 vultures or even more can be a force to be reckoned with because, well, versus tanks, they do 10 damage each because of the 50% damage reduction from, I forget what kind of damage, and 10 damage is actually quite a lot when you get 2-3 control groups. That's probably why he was able to push Ruby back, because of the sheer amount of vultures, and the tank advantage really wasn't too effective because they attack so slow and there were so many vultures that didn't really do too much. What do you think about the economy things now?
Yeah, that's a good spot, Asterisk. I did see Canata get his expansion up a lot faster, managing to hold off that almost sneaky build from Sea.Ruby, trying to just sneak an SCV over there without getting spotted. Unfortunately, there was mines absolutely everywhere through that expansion that Sea.Ruby was trying to take. So Canata's really taken the economic advantage, and he does, I think, have a little bit better map control. Although we'll have to see how it unfolds, I guess. I mean, Canata's pushing around the map, trying to just put some pressure on. He has lost the center of the map at the moment, but whether or not he can retake that with the excess or the extra tech that he has up. So I think it'll be the next tech move from Sea.Ruby to take the game. Otherwise, Canata's just going to roll over him with economy at the moment.
Yeah, and Canata definitely is ahead in the game economically, but I like what he's done. I mean, I'm not familiar with an all-out vulture builds, but now, wow, Ruby is going to catch Canata completely out of position, and now he's going to be able to take out all of these vultures, but now Canata is bringing more reinforcements, so Ruby will be forced to be pushed back, so this is like all-out vulture wars, and maintaining the middle is the name of the game, especially for Terran, and especially on this map, because the middle is elevated, so you already have the elevation advantage. Sorry, I couldn't even think of the word, but advantage. So nice. Definitely, Ruby definitely has more tanks, but now Canata is getting more tanks of his own. So a little change in the build. Went for a lot of vultures early, and now is maybe changing over to tanks. So wow. So as you were saying, we might be seeing drops, and that is not the case. I have really never seen a TVT game like this. Maybe I'm not a Terran player, and I haven't watched many TVT games, but this is one like I have never seen.
Yeah, it is. Right now we're seeing that Ruby is trying his best to take over the middle, but Canata has again pushed him back, and Canata also can't push up either because of the amount of tanks that Ruby has. Right now the vultures really aren't coming into play, and it's all about the tanks, about taking the middle, but looks like Ruby has to push back even more, and it looks like he might actually be taking another expansion. If he does that, he might be able to have 4 expansions, which will be quite a bit considering the amount of gas they'll be able to get. Even then, he might be able to get a bunch of dropships in order to drop with.
And yeah, I'm
So yeah,
actually going to
definitely
take things over here real quick. I just have one thing to...
Go.
Alright, okay. I just have one thing to say. Sorry to interrupt you. Sea.Ruby is getting the expansion. I think I know why he is doing that. He probably realizes that getting the middle back is going to be a big problem unless he has a big economic lead. So he's definitely going to be taking he's going to try to take the economic lead and play an economic battle. So now Ruby is going to try to come in and do some damage to Canata's economy line, but has no luck because of the amount of vultures. Vultures are the quickest unit in StarCraft, especially after you get the speed upgrade. So this has been one crazy game so far, and it's going to continue. And as we've noted on before, Canata doing an excellent job at keeping the middle. With siege tanks in the middle of an elevated area, it is basically impossible for a Terran player or versus any race to actually walk up and do that, because when you shoot up you do have a miss-hit percentage, so the people shooting down have the advantage. So definitely. So now I'm going to hand things back over to Jotak since I rudely interrupted him. Sorry.
I've completely forgotten what I was saying now, Sunday. No, and I think Canata's, like I'd say what we've been saying about strategy, about holding the middle, may be incorrect on this map. Canata's being real clever, just keeping that contain on the middle more than anything, and taking another 2 expansions it looks like. So he's going to be an expansion up, but Wraith's now coming out. So, gee, I don't know if that's the best move from Canata. Oh, sorry, I think I've mixed the names around there. Sea.Ruby's been holding this contain on Canata in the middle. I think that's a really good strategy, seeing as though he's managed to take over the entire top of the map now. And starport's going up for both players, so I kind of expected to see dropship play, but if raids do come out for Canata, maybe he can manage to take some devastating attacks on a dropship from Sea.Ruby and really change the game that way.
자신이 그래도 가스 멀티를 과감하게 가져가면서 좀 가스 싸움에서 지금 앞서가고 있는 상황 아닙니까? 고영기 선수는
So now dual dropships dual starports going up. What do you think the play from now on's going to be? Astros.
Right now I'm kind of thinking that it'll be pretty much dropship play and taking control of the middle to end up taking the middle expansions and trying to disrupt the opponent's economy as much as possible with wraiths and vultures, tanks, and dropships. We could probably expect around 6 to 8 dropships from each player and just completely destroying each other's expansions over and over again. What do you think the game's going? How do you think the game's going right now, Sunday?
Well, now it's just Vulture Wars, and this one will be won by Ruby, but I'm sure Canata will back up because he has such less vultures. But now he's bringing more reinforcements, so Canata will be able to win this battle if they continue to fight like this. This is very odd fighting, but I like what Ruby decided to do. He says, heck, I can't take the middle, and I'm going to expand all over the map and take a huge economic lead. But now Canata, being the great TVT player he is, realizing what Sea.Ruby is thinking, now he's getting expansions, more expansions of his own. So both players are very macro heavy. Terran probably, I mean, obviously needs the least crystals and gas out of any race, but both of them have so many expansions. I mean, really, this game definitely going into the long game because both players have split the map. So what do you think about the dropship play that is going to happen, and how do you think it'll affect the game? Because Sea.Ruby is getting the dropships. How do you think this will affect the game, Jotek?
Well, I haven't seen too many raids now out from Canata, but if he can get a good massive raids, he should be able to, yeah, affect some devastating attacks on these dropships. And now you see him pushing out slightly, but yeah, not being effective. Sea.Ruby just keeping on range, so he has to come down to the bottom of the ramp to cause any real damage to these siege tanks. But just pure numbers now managing to affect some damage, and a drop now going in, taking out the expansions of Canata, but not causing too much damage, I'd say. I think Canata's now managed to take an expansion extra. I may be wrong there, maybe even, but he's definitely not behind at the moment. So we'll see how this goes, but dual starports out for both players, and Sea.Ruby's the only one with the control towers up, so I'd say that mass raids. And you see 2 raids now, yeah, attacking these dropships, and that is massive losses. I don't know if those had troops in them or not. I'd say they would not, but still. And they did. How do you think that's going to affect the gameplay now from Sea.Ruby? He's really got to change his strategy.